Okay everyone, today we're going to talk about used to, and how it connects to the past simple. We use used to when we want to talk about the past, but in a very specific way. We use it to describe states or habits that were true in the past, but are not true now. The important idea is, this was true before, but it is different today. Let's look at used to in positive sentences first. We use used to plus base verb for things that happened regularly in the past or situations that existed in the past. For example, I used to have long hair. This is a state in the past, and it is not true now. Another example is he used to do exercise every day. This is a habit in the past, but he doesn't do it anymore. We can also say we used to like sweets, or they used to watch TV a lot. In all these sentences, the idea is that the situation has changed. It's important to understand that used to is not the same as the past simple. The past simple just tells us that something happened in the past. For example, I lived in London for 3 years. This does not tell us if the situation has changed or not. But when we say I used to live in London, we clearly say that I don't live there now. That's the key difference. Now let's look at the negative form, which is didn't used to. We use this form to talk about something that was not true in the past, but is true now. When we use the negative, we use didn't, so the verb used does not have ad at the end. For example, I didn't used to drink coffee. This means that in the past I didn't drink coffee, but now I do. Another example is she didn't used to wear glasses, but now she wears them. Or we didn't used to like vegetables, but now we like them. We can also use didn't used to with the verb to be. For example, they didn't used to be so tall. This tells us that they are tall now, but they weren't tall in the past. Again, we are talking about a past state that has changed. Now let's connect used to with some vocabulary about money, because this is something we often talk about when comparing the past and the present. For example, I used to earn less money, things used to cost less, or people didn't used to pay by card. We can also say I didn't used to save money, but now I try to save more. These sentences are very natural in English when we talk about changes over time. We often use used to with verbs like spend, save, earn, buy, or pay for. For example, I used to spend a lot of money on clothes, we didn't used to pay for music online, or he used to be poor, but now he's rich. We can also use it with adjectives like rich, poor, or free to describe how situations were different in the past. So, to finish, remember this, use used to talk about past habits or states that are no longer true. Use didn't used to say that something was not true in the past, but is true now. If you want to show change, used to is the perfect structure to use.